And we're live. Welcome to Office Hours with Arrow, a LinkedIn Live event hosted by Arrow leaders who care about what senior living looks like. I'm your host and producer, Rachel Sheehan, and today I am so excited about this topic and I say that so genuinely because I love this every week, but this is actually my wheelhouse today. So I'm really excited to have Andrea with us and, of course, Shannon. So first things first, Shannon, you have been here before, but just give a little brief introduction who you are.
Hi guys, I'm Shannon Novak. I'm the Senior Managing Director of Marketing, as it says here on my screen about there, which means that I just think about all things marketing, but also all things internal and in terms of like how are we making once a resident moves in, once our marketing works, how do we make their experience amazing, and how do we do cool things like partner with Silverts, for example.
Yes. And Andrea, tell us then how that relates to you. What is Silverts and who are you?
Yeah, all right. Well, hi, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for having me. This is going to be such a fun discussion. So my name's Andrea. I head up product partnerships and sales here at Silverts. It's a pleasure to join you to talk about our exciting and meaningful partnership today. And we're also celebrating our 94th birthday this year. Almost a centenarian. We're already starting to plan our party in 6 years. And, at Silverts, we create adaptive clothing and footwear. So our clothing is designed with ease, comfort, and independence in mind, whether it's our magnetic closures, discreet adjustments, or fabrics that just feel really nice against the skin. It's not just clothing, but it's a tool for empowerment and dignity. And it's such a game changer for staff as well. I know we're going to get to this, Rachel and Shannon, but benefits include increased safety in dressing, less risk of pain, strain, and injury, and also time saved. Care staff can focus on getting her hair ready for the day, or just spending a quiet moment instead. And I'm wearing Silverts today, of course. This is one of our tops, my favorite from the Vault. Lovely bell sleeve and open back. You can't even tell I'm wearing it. Rachel, maybe I can pass it over to you.
I was going to say, some people may be wondering why I'm so dressed up today, because normally I'm wearing an Arrow t-shirt, but I wanted to show you all. Look at this. The magnetic she was talking about. Boom. It's that easy. This is what senior living looks like. But I'm telling you, they're magnets. Guys, how easy is that? That's so easy for our residents or for anybody. And so that's why I'm wearing this lovely blue shirt.
You look good.
Thank you. And I wanted to show too, I have a picture actually of like how Andrea's wearing that shirt. This is a picture of one of our residents, but like that's how it's kind of this open back and it crosses over and then buttons really easy. And we actually have a TikTok on our page that shows that. Like I remember dressing a resident and how easy it was. And so just wanted to show that picture too.
Well, I feel like you guys, Andrea, you missed a key part when you were introducing what your clothes do, because they're not just about being easy. They're also about being stylish, which was one of my favorite things when I first learned about you guys. Was the fact that it's not just adaptive and useful. It also empowers our residents to be able to still feel fashionable and still feel like they can wear the kinds of clothes they want to versus, I have some trouble with buttons. So now I guess I just wear sad clothes that I don't love anymore.
Right.
It's a game changer.
Totally. And fashion has historically been tied to youth culture, right? But we're here to break that mold. Style's not reserved just for the young. It's for everyone, no matter your age or ability. And I don't think the love of fashion ever changes, right? No matter where you are in your life. So, I used to work in long-term care as well. And seeing the difference that adaptive made in the lives of not only the residents, but the caregivers and their families. They had so much confidence. They felt better about themselves because they were able to wear clothing that made them feel good.
And I just love, you might not be able to see this, but all the comments that are coming in, because even Elizabeth Thompson, who's on our team, she said she just ordered some items to empower her dad with vascular dementia.
Oh,
Like, that is so exciting. So
fabulous.
yeah. And like I said, when you came on, I was like, I had no idea that was a Silvered shirt. Like, I have to double check sometimes our posts and ask, like, was this Silverts or was this Silver? You know, because it's just fashion, you know.
That's right.
Which is awesome. So I do want to go back to the beginning of our lovely partnership and just tell me, Shannon, Andrea, how did you first connect?
Well, I'm gonna take it first because we've got to go back. So a year ago ish, one of our other partners, Dash Media, shout out to Nathan. He came to us, he and Shelby came to us with this idea that there was this fashion brand and they wanted to do a 3-month partnership. They would bring some clothes, they'd shoot some content, whatever. And we're like, hold on, what are you talking about? So I went and looked it up because I was like, I don't know if our residents want to wear adaptive clothing, because I didn't know about it. And so I went and looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, like, look at that. I want that shirt. It's just like there are plaid button downs. There's obviously the ones you guys are wearing. Then it's like, who would know? Who would know that it's also adaptive? Which I think is so cool. So we did the 3-month partnership and it kind of spurred a little bit of an idea because as we were looking at some of the clothes, we saw the cardigans. At the time, I can't remember. I think it was only in the style we really liked. You only had maybe women's cardigans or maybe it was men's. And so we're like, okay, well, I like this, but we've got to get both genders in there. So then earlier this year, we were talking about centenarians, which is a whole different LinkedIn Live. I will not go into that right now. But we were talking about centenarians in our centenarian program, and we're like, well, let's just look again, because those were perfect. It was exactly what we need for our centenarian program. So we went and looked. You had expanded your line. There were cardigans for both men and women, and we're like, we got to reach out. We got to see what they're doing. So, yeah,
I'm gonna show off the centenaries while we're talking about it,
well,
but
just real quick. I mean,
this
if
is
you
what
haven't,
came to fruition from that. So we have our centenarian logo on the Silverts sweaters, which are just amazing, make me so happy. But yes, that's a separate LinkedIn Live topic.
yeah, that's so many layers. But yeah, it started as a small, like, what can we do? Because we really want to get these cardigans for our centenarians because we designed a logo and we really wanted to do that. And we're like, well, let's just talk to him and see. And then we got introduced to Andrea and in the Silverts team. So it's been so much more than we imagined. We would not have guessed when we were reaching out about cardigans that we would be having a fashion show. Like it was.
Mm-hmm. And what makes me so excited about the centenarian program is it's really a badge of honor, right? What an incredible milestone to celebrate your 100th birthday. And now we get to really honor that. And I think we've made something really special. So, I was thrilled about the program when you guys reached out. And I think we were like, what else can we do? And this partnership's so exciting because it just aligns with our shared values, right? Championing inclusivity, celebrating individuality, and making fashion accessible. And I think that started with the centenarian program. So you mentioned the fashion show. Maybe we can turn the lens there. What was the feedback like?
First, let me just throw up some pictures because, oh my gosh. So yes, this just happened. Shannon, you talk about it a little bit. You were there.
I missed so much of the beginning though. So like just the teams and the way they pulled this together was so awesome. And I was so proud of everybody that was doing the groundwork. I really just skated in to all of the fun. But yeah, so it came up. We were talking, you guys, I remember, I think it was Avery sent me an email that was like, can we talk about something? And I was like, oh God, okay. I think everything's good, but this is very vague. And this was part of it. That you guys really wanted to do a fashion show. And we were like, oh my gosh, one of our resident services directors actually has also been wanting to do a fashion show. So this is perfect. And so we started reaching out and kind of getting some residents. We were hoping for, I think, about 20, and we had to cap it, I think, when we got to about 30, because the residents were super excited about this idea. But you guys sent us some little banners on the side, which I think might have been in that photo, or one of the photos, and red carpet, balloon arch, curtains. We did the whole thing. We had people come in to do the residents' hair, and they just had, it was so cool. They're backstage. They've got the backstage jitters. They're like, I've never modeled before. I don't know what to do. So we were prepping them. Katarina on our team actually did a lot of the prep with them to kind of get them ready and what to do. But they once they got to that curtain and the curtain opened, it was like the jitters just fell. They were dancing down the aisles. They were doing a kick to show off their socks. They were striking poses. Some of them, it was a long walk because they could not stop striking a pose at like every step. And it was so cool to see how happy they were. And they just kept talking about the clothes. You showed the lady in the tracksuit, like she was dancing a lot after, but she was like, guys, feel how soft this is. This is so cool. And it was, they all had a little bit of input based on what they like wearing. The lady on the left that we just showed, she was the only one of our residents who was excited about a skirt, and she killed it. I was like, you're the coolest librarian I've ever seen. Like with her, she pulled in the cardigan, she just styled it her own way, and it was so cool, and they had so much fun, and they got clothes out of it.
I love that. And our collaboration goes beyond clothing, right? We're creating moments of joy and community. And, coming from a long-term care background, I think a lot of homes, or the narrative around nursing homes, can sometimes get a bad rap. But, when you look at these types of celebrations and these types of events, it's like they're having the time of their lives, And yeah, I just seeing the photos and seeing the videos from the fashion show, it just fills me with so much pride. Our team put so much time and effort and innovation into our styles, and how we design the adaptability of them. And so to see it come to life in such a fun way it's been rewarding, honestly. So thank you guys. Thank you.
For sure. And that's how I feel too about the photo shoots. That's where we kind of started before the fashion show. But here's a picture of one of the photo shoots, and just a couple different groups. We've done photo shoots at multiple communities of ours, and they just have so much fun. I was at this one in particular, and Linda here, she just said, I think our models need something to drink to loosen up a little bit. And so we ran and got mimosas, and they just had the best time. And so I feel like, this is another way of it just being fun for our residents. But yeah, like you said, feeling empowered, and also how special you feel that you were asked to be a model. Something like Shannon mentioned before, they said, I've never done that before. Another new experience they get to have. So I love that.
Yeah, the photos, I must say, are just fabulous. When we saw them, our team, we were so excited. We even shared them with our photographers that shoot for our catalog and our website. And we said, hey, look at these. We're going to take inspiration. So your team has really brought our clothing to life, and you've really helped us round out our brand in the past couple months. And we've even featured some of those photos in our latest fall winter catalog, and we will continue to leverage them. So thank you.
I love that.
No, and it goes both ways, because we like using our residents in our photography and having our actual residents. We hate a stock photo if we can avoid it.
Right.
We want to show the people living in the communities. And a lot of times when we go in to do shoots, residents will be cool with being a part of it, but it's kind of like the modeling, they don't know what to do. And so it ends up not looking as real or as genuine, because they really are just posing to meet the ask, even though everybody's doing their best, but it's, they've never modeled before.
Right.
And something just magical happens when they get to model these clothes and try on these clothes and make that a part of it. The reactions, and I feel like some of the photography we've gotten since this partnership has been some of the best photography we've gotten in ages, because the residents just feel so good and are so having so much fun, and they're getting to be a part of something. They're getting to have a new experience they've never had before. There have been so many cool photos that have come out of this and videos, and it's been great for our marketing efforts as well. We've done a lot of updates in our general presence and look because of these photos. So
Wonderful.
Silver's all over Arrow.
Yeah. And I want to talk too then about where I play into this a little bit more, but the social media part of it too, like she's talking about photos and videos. We do have a good, strong social media presence now with Silverts, and there's something out there called Granfluencers. And I actually saw a comment, let me find it real quick, but Bethany put, the jackets and vests were just beautiful. I was Granfluenced myself. So she was at the fashion show. But exactly like, so Grand influencers, obviously, on if on Instagram and things like that, or somebody who show off something and then all of a sudden you're influenced to buy it, right? And so now our residents have the opportunity to be Granfluencers themselves. And so I just love that, because obviously it helps us with great content for our social media, but also like how cool is that for a resident? I just think about that. So I don't know, Andrea, do you have anything you want to share about the Granfluencer part of it?
Yeah, honestly, so working at Silverts is a dream, and seeing Granfluencers, even on like TikTok and Instagram, the fact that they're getting so popular and they're engaging with younger audiences makes me so happy. And, I want to be a Granfluencer when I grow up one day. So something, I'm aiming for. But seeing the Granfluencers coming from this partnership, again, like it helps us tell this wonderful narrative, this wonderful story about what it means to be human, right? Not what it means to be an older adult or a senior. But look at how much fun I'm having. Look at how I'm styling my clothes, and I've been loving it. So what are your Granfluencers saying? How do they feel about being a part of the social media ecosystem?
Yes, it's fun when like you tell them how many views or something that people have seen. They're like, they can't believe it. And I think especially my favorite one is Linda. And you guys have to, anybody watching right now, go to our Arrow Senior Living TikTok. There's a little tab for Silvert's content, but there's this video of Linda like ripping off her shirt like I did earlier, but a little more risque. And it's just so funny how those things blow up because people don't expect that. And so, but what I love too is when I look at the stats and see like, oh, people are actually like sharing these videos. And to me, that's telling me, oh, they're probably sharing it with somebody to say, hey, we need to buy this shirt for mom, or we need to, look at this clothing, like it could really make a difference. And so that's really behind the fun. There is a real purpose, of course, but I don't know, Shannon, do you have anything to add?
Mine's adjacent, but there's another video just speaking back to the clothes and kind of combining the two pieces together. There's another video of one of our residents where she's just raving about, she's wearing one of the dresses and she's just raving about how perfect it is. Like the, where the sleeve hits, how the opening feels, how the dress itself feels, how it fits, how hard it is as someone her age, and I believe she's got some mobility issues, to find clothes that make her feel good. And so we captured that, I think, fairly organically, where we were recording things, but she was just talking about how she felt about it in her true way without really being prompted. And it just made my heart so happy, because I think about, all of us have, like, we get irritated when things don't fit right. But we all have lots of options out in the world that we can choose from. If this doesn't fit right, there's something else. And so when we're getting into a demographic where it's like, as you get older, it's, people just stop considering you
Right.
in so many avenues. And so for us to like have come together and be able to provide that for our residents where they can feel that again, I hadn't seen it until the TikTok was together. So it just made my heart feel so happy to see that we're not only getting to provide that for her, but we're getting to put it out into the world so that other people can see, like, if you don't know about this, you should check into it, because if you've been feeling like she has, this is your chance.
Right. And, category awareness in the entire adaptive category, that's our biggest challenge, because a lot of folks don't know we exist, right? Unless someone recommends it, or they're Googling, tops for shoulder surgery, and then they discover it themselves. And so I think as an entire category in the market, we need to continue to raise awareness that these solutions exist. Right? You don't have to wear oversized clothing. We have exactly what you need. And there's so many other brands too that are doing a great job at this. But I think and Shannon, you kind of mentioned this, but it's redefining and showing the world that, style and self-expression have no age limit. And, being able to partner with these folks and see how much they love the styles and how they feel in the dress and how they feel in the top is it's wonderful. So I wanted to give a big shout out to our design and product team at Silverts. Shannon, you also mentioned like the attention to detail, how long the sleeves were, and all of that is considered like to a scientific degree when our team is designing, because we want everything to be tickety boo and perfect. So
yeah, there were so many, circling back to the fashion show, there were residents walking around with like a 3/4, and I think one of the activewear sets is a 3/4, and they're like, it's so perfect because it covers the upper arm that I don't like showing off, but I also still have the mobility to work out.
Right.
So just I don't know, it's like the childlike sense of wonder, like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this world existed where I could have this. So I love that. And it has definitely been noticed by the people fashioning the clothes that the attention to detail is there. So
awesome. And we've received quite a bit of feedback as well. I would love to hear, what the feedback has been, any changes, recommendations. We're always looking to improve.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've talked about with you. Every time, we do get feedback, we can just tell you, because that's our relationship. So it's a great partnership in that way. I know there had been some feedback about like maybe going one bigger size or something like that. That was something brought up. I don't know, Shannon, if you have anything you thought of.
The cardigan styles, some of our residents, because you can't use the magnets if you have a pacemaker, and so some of our residents that love the style but can't wear it, wanting an option for that. And it's cool to have a space where they can provide feedback and feel like, new things are coming out all the time, so maybe that's next. And then hopefully being able to circle back with them and be like, you asked, they answered, and it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but and I think that's beneficial both ways. Feedback is always helpful, and we've tapped into a resource that is very excited to provide feedback and feel heard. So they are always providing feedback for us and for you guys. And loving the clothes. We also, I don't think there's any in the slideshow, but I was looking through our social media pages and I already saw a resident wearing one of the clothes that she had on in the fashion show, just wore it to brunch. She looked so sharp, and it was one of those moments where Rachel was like, is that a Silver shirt? And I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Because we are still, X number of months in, we're still like, it just, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know.
That's right. It's just fashion. It's universal fashion. Everyone deserves to look and feel good. And no matter, what you're dealing with, we got fashion for you.
Yeah. And I do want to add too, I was thinking about this with another video we did, but the video of Joe and when I was getting her ready. And I just remember thinking like what a game changer this would be in senior living communities for staff, like how fast it is to get them dressed and no fuss, you know. And so I just think the same for caregivers. And actually I don't know if I told you this, Andrea, but one of our executive directors told us like a family was mentioning things, and I think it was just a prospect, not one of our residents, but they were mentioning things about how it was hard to get her dressed and stuff. And so she referred them to Silverts. And that's the kind of thing, like now that we partnered, like we can send out mailers that have that info too, or like as people move into our communities, tell them about Silverts and hopefully make their lives easier. So, and then again, making our staff's life easier too.
Yeah.
Well, and making the residents, I know we only have like 5 minutes left. And we have more things to cover. So I'm going to say this, and then I know we got to move on, but it also makes the resident themselves feel good because as you get older and you're not able to do things, it's frustrating and you don't want to be, it's not even fascinating. It's just full frustrating and you don't want to be the burden either. And so having an option where not only can you feel good, but it takes away that feeling like a burden when someone has to help you or feeling so helpless yourself and being able to do some more of it yourself too, is just really great. And it's one of those things that should not be groundbreaking, but it is groundbreaking. And it's so cool because that's always been, Arrow was modeled on breaking a stereotype. And this is just one more thing in that arsenal that we can bring together of a new way to break a stereotype and make senior living different.
Yeah. I love that. So well said.
Well, with our last few minutes, I have a couple questions, but what's next for our partnership? I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. What's coming? What are we excited about?
Well, we still have regions that have not gotten to model yet. And we got winter fashion rolled out, but there's going to be spring fashion.
Yep.
So I know that that's one of the things I'm excited about is the next phase and getting to roll it out to more communities, to introduce them to it in their face way where they really get to touch and experience it, not just know about it.
Looking forward to that as well. And we'll have, as you mentioned, our spring summer styles coming out in the spring. So we'll definitely be sending some of those over. Looking ahead, I'm just excited to keep building on this momentum. I think this is such a wonderful partnership we've been able to bring. And together we're really starting conversations and reshaping perceptions about aging, accessibility, and inclusion. Let's continue to break the mold and change around the narrative. I think it's so important.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody listening is not with Arrow, we would like to give them a piece of advice maybe for starting a partnership like this or any kind of partnership in senior living. Andrew, Shannon, do you have a piece of advice to share?
Well, from my side, my advice is ask.
Yeah.
Like you don't know again, we had a small thing. We wanted to look at centenarian cardigans and we wanted to create a partnership where our centenarians could have embroidered cardigans. And so that was our ask. And then I remember that first conversation, just my mind was racing. I couldn't even begin to focus or get it together because I was like, there's so many more options and you guys brought so many cool ideas and it just exploded from that first call. So just find your need and ask.
Yeah.
I second that. Reach out, give us a wave. Hey, how's it going? Any opportunities here? Here are our needs. And I think, we're always here to collaborate and make life easier. So reach out.
Yeah, I love that. Well, perfect. I think we did it. Next week, we're taking a break for the holiday, but the week after that, we will be back December 5th, talking all things 12 Days of Christmas culinary related. So I hope you guys will join for that. But thank you so much today, Andrea and Shannon.
Thank you.
Great time.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Take care.